The Last Supper, a cartoon script. Chapter 1. The preparation sitting. A busy Jerusalem street, bustling with people. Jesus and his disciples walked toward a house. Narrator. It was the first day of the Festival of Unleavened Bread. The disciples came to Jesus with a question. Peter, Master, where do you want us to prepare the Passover meal? Jesus, go into the city, find a certain man, and say to him, the teacher says my time is near. I will keep the Passover at your house with my disciples. The disciples leave to prepare. Chapter 2. The gathering sitting. A large upper room, dimly lit by oil lamps. A long table is set with bread, wine, and other food. Narrator. When evening came, Jesus sat with the 12 disciples. Everyone finds their places, murmuring quietly. Jesus looks around at them. Jesus, I have eagerly desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. Chapter 3. The betrayal foretold sitting. The disciples are eating and chatting. Jesus, truly, I tell you, one of you will betray me. The disciples look at each other in shock. John, Lord, who is it? Jesus, it is the one who dips his hand with me in the bowl. Judas stiffens, trying to act naturally. Judas, surely not I, Rabbi? Jesus, you have said it. Judas shifts nervously, gripping his bag of coins. Chapter 4. The bread of life sitting. Jesus lifts a piece of unleavened bread. Jesus, take and eat. This is my body. The disciples take the bread and eat it, glancing at each other, confused but solemn. Chapter 5. The cup of the new covenant sitting. Jesus lifts a cup of wine, his eyes filled with emotion. Jesus, drink from it, all of you. This is my blood of the covenant, poured out for the forgiveness of sins. The disciples take turns drinking from the cup, realizing the gravity of the moment. Chapter 6. A new commandment sitting. Jesus looks around at his followers, love in his eyes. Jesus, a new commandment I give you. Love one another as I have loved you. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples. The disciples nodded, deeply moved. Chapter 7. The struggle of the heart sitting. Judas shifts uncomfortably, eyes darting around. Narrator. Judas knew what he had to do. The silver weighed heavy in his pouch. Judas stands abruptly, forcing a smile. Judas, I must go. Jesus watches him leave, sadness in his eyes. Chapter 8. The warning to Peter sitting. Jesus turns to Peter, his tone gentle yet firm. Jesus, tonight, before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. Peter, never, Lord. Even if I have to die with you, I will never disown you. Jesus gazes at him with love but does not respond. Chapter 9. The hymn and the farewell sitting. The meal concludes, and the disciples stand. Narrator. After they had sung a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. The disciples followed Jesus into the night, their hearts heavy. Chapter 10. The night before the cross sitting. Jesus walks ahead, the disciples trailing behind, the city lights flickering in the distance. Narrator. Jesus knew what was coming, yet he walked forward willingly, out of love for all. The scene fades to darkness, with only the glow of the moon lighting the way. The end.